Harry caused outrage again with revelations about his new official residence address. Let's find out in this video. Hello and welcome back to the ms.royal channel. In the new personal profiles, Harry officially updated his permanent address to is now the USA, while it previously stated the United Kingdom. And appearing in a video that appeared to be filmed in Monaco, Harry was said to have been deeply wounded by his father's order for him and Meghan to leave Frogmore, which had been a wedding gift from Queen Elizabeth. That is also the reason why Harry chose the day he was kicked out as the official day at his new address in America. Actually, it is not difficult to understand why King Charles made such a statement. Harry and Meghan no longer belong to the firm. Setting clear boundaries is necessary. No one accepts such a part-time royal practice, so if Harry and Meghan leave, they have no reason to stay at Frogmore. After a series of controversies over visa issues, it appears Harry is now ready to become an American citizen. It begins to look like America is going to quietly allow him to stay, putting his application for US entry on a dusty shelf somewhere. But of course, and naturally, this must alter the rules for everyone else. Many people whose applications were turned down should reapply to cite Harry's case and drugs being far worse than their own mistakes of the past. Harry is abroad, but he still keeps his title and is even still a member of the State Advisory Council. This is really confusing. I think if Harry wanted to become an American citizen and do his own thing so much, he should have voluntarily given up everything and stayed away from the royal family. I don't understand how he and Meghan continue to play the I have been hard done to card. Surely they realize by now we are all fed up with the same record being played over and over. It is time they take responsibility for their own actions and decisions. The world owes them nothing. I also found it funny that he emphasized choosing a date when confirming a new residence. It's not a chosen date, it's the date he stopped having any residence in the UK, so the US automatically became his primary residence. The paperwork has just been changed to reflect his circumstances, nothing more. In the past, Harry was one of my favorite royals along with William and Catherine. The three of them always looked so happy together. The brothers always looked happy together. Harry and our late Queen looked happy together and with his father King Charles. But then came along Meghan and suddenly Harry wants nothing to do with his family. Oh, but to keep his title, of course. This man has had the best education money can buy, a lifelong silver spoon, a helicopter license, and army training. No one can deny that Harry has an extremely good foundation, but he doesn't know how to take advantage of it. Everything was thrown to the back of Harry's mind when he met Meghan. The guy isn't stupid, he is just gullible. She has hoodwinked him all through the relationship. Can't feel that strongly about all that he says now. It seems to me that Harry has never looked more lost and sad in certain pictures. He doesn't have that carefree behavior that he used to have when he was with his family. It's like he's changed into a completely different person, but looks so sad with it. Maybe he already regrets what he's done and realizes what sort of person he's married to. He's trapped now and he knows it. She will never be welcome in the UK. And if he comes back alone, he loses the house, the kids, and probably most of his money. This was her plan all along. Got to feel a little sorry for him. He's been well and truly had. He gave up any rights to permanent residence in the UK when he abandoned his country, his royal duties, and his patronages. However, he expected to keep Frogmore, the security and the income. However, the space was needed to accommodate other royals who remain in the UK and have never slandered their family. Why would he think it should stay vacant just in case he ever returned for a day or two? Queen Elizabeth didn't give them Frogmore Cottage. As working royals, they had a grace and favor home. It was renovated for them, but they repaid the cost after they chose to live in California. Then they had a lease, which wasn't renewed. The house itself was not a wedding gift. If Harry takes those privileges for granted and acts like a victim, that thinking is wrong. He lost Frogmore because he wasn't a working royal and moved abroad. The important thing to do now he is no longer a British resident is to revoke his Counselor of State status. He should never ever be able to step in if needed to any royal duties. If you think about the Harry and Meghan thing as a whole, right from the engagement onwards, neither of them ever had any intention of remaining working royals but accepted Frogmore Cottage to keep up appearances. If they had made their plans clear from the get-go, we could have cut them loose much sooner. Harry could have used his vast wealth to buy a private home here in the UK, enabling his father, who has to stay here, to watch his grandchildren grow. Instead, he chose to cut and run, so if the US is where he now calls home, let him get on with it. but there are quite a few people who won't be rolling out the red carpet if he does ever come back. He chose the US over the UK. Money is more important to him than family or duty. He is impulsive, easily influenced, and with a whole series of grievances. With Meghan, everything these two are orchestrated and well-planned in hopes of garnering sympathy from the public. The perpetual victim, it's now a full-time occupation, but in the absence of any talent or recognizable qualification beyond that, what else to do successfully and fill endless, empty days? I have absolutely no problem with Harry and Meghan moving to Los Angeles to live their life. It's just the way they went about it was awful. They have hurt so many people, blaming everyone apart from themselves when it was completely Harry's fault. Meghan was unhappy. He never helped her, only blamed other people for not helping her. Her plan was always to live in the USA. Harry chose to follow that plan. Actions have consequences. They chose to leave saying they wanted financial independence. They got their wish, so why do they keep complaining about security? Harry should have known he was going to lose taxpayer-funded protection if he chose to live outside the UK. They were allowed to keep Frogmore Cottage until its lease ran out. After that, why renew when they hardly used it? And who would be responsible for any repairs? After all, didn't his wife say she never wanted to set foot in our country ever again? So Harry might have used the place on the odd night or two per year. It's this whole victim mentality. They view themselves as if they are on a crusade to fight the injustices of the world that have purposely misunderstood them and wronged them, and they must defend themselves from any criticism of them because absolutely none of this is their fault. Without the royal family, Harry is simply a slightly thick, balding ex-soldier and Meghan a not very successful ex-actress. She never had any intention of living in the UK. She was just after the title and the fame, not to mention the money. He was led by the nose, and for him, there's no way back now. She split him from his family, which was also her intention. If he is happy, as claimed, he should tell his face that. He is not happy with his choices. The only reason he feels wounded is because he stamped his little foot, but didn't get what he demanded, or rather what she demanded. Hasn't had a good word to say about his family, his country of birth, or the people in it since. If anyone feels wounded, it should be us, having to listen to their endless whining about how hard done they are. Clearly, Harry never learned there are consequences for his choices and actions. Harry sold his family's secrets for money and accused his countrymen of racism. He and Meghan never acknowledged the outpouring of support and generosity of the royals to Meghan, only focused on what was wrong or lacking. I don't know if Harry has the mental capacity to grow and gain insight. He has continually expected free handouts. If he wishes to have a property in the UK, he can buy one himself. He is just too full of himself, expecting everything to be paid for by others. And he says he was deeply hurt at being asked to leave Frogmore. Does he not think his entire family has been deeply hurt by his continual trashing and extremely hurtful comments towards them, as well as revealing things that he should have kept to himself? The most shocking thing that has come out of all this is the greedy, manipulative, destructive self-entitlement of this individual. To think that the British public have been hoodwinked all these years by the royal family publicity machine into believing he was above reproach is the true horror. They have every right to question everything they are presented with. Finally, the veil of deceit has been torn down. Perhaps Harry needs to soon realize that he and Meghan are no longer in good standing with the public. They are being looked at more harshly. These are all consequences of their vile and deceitful acts. Victim plays don't work anymore. That's why no matter how much he whines, he can't find pity anymore. His cheap tricks only attract criticism. That also brings us to the end of this video. And you? What do you think about his complaint? Please discuss this with us by commenting. And if you agree with my opinion, please comment okay. If not, please express so we can know your opinion. Don't forget to like and share the video. Your support is our motivation. Let's subscribe to receive notifications about the newest videos. We will be back soon. Thank you for watching and goodbye.